everything about it. Everything about it.
Alright, hey everybody, and welcome to Zenfolio Live. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Support. I want to say thanks for joining us on the live stream today, where we're continuing our series, creating a website that wows. And this is going to be, actually I think this is part 5. I forgot to change my title here, so you guys are going to have to excuse me about that. But what we're going to be talking about today is creating a client group. We're going to go over access control. I'm going to show you how to set up some search and download settings, and then I'm going to show you how to create subgroups for the year and subgroups for your client genre to help you keep your client galleries organized. So again, this is part 5. Completely ignore that title, and I will fix it later. So you have to forgive me for that. But we're going to be going over setting up client galleries. So let me go ahead and just jump right into that. We're going to jump right into that really quick. Here we are in our Zenfolio account. And while I'm going through this, guys, if you have any questions about Zenfolio, if you have any questions about the process, definitely make sure to get those in the chat so we can get those answered for you live. If you don't want to use YouTube chat, there's a link in the description below this video where you can also submit your questions as well, and we will take those live. And then for those of you guys who are watching the recorded version of this, make sure that you hit up that link, questions for next week, so I can answer your questions the following week on the live stream. Go ahead and say hi, let us know where you're from in the chat, and I'm going to go ahead and get started talking about setting up client galleries. So the first thing that you guys want to do to keep your account organized is you want to utilize Zenfolio's group feature. I can't tell you how many times I've logged into someone's account to kind of help them set it up, and they have thousands of galleries that are completely unorganized, and it takes forever just to sort through and find specific galleries, and you guys don't want that to happen. And so what you want to do is you want to utilize the groups feature to kind of keep things organized. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to create a client group, and then inside of that we're going to create some subgroups to set up some organization. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to all photographs. Just click right on all photographs here, and then hit this little drop down button and go ahead and click new group. And then I'm just going to call this clients group. All right, so we're just going to say clients. I'm going to hit enter. And then before we do anything else, we're going to apply some settings to this group so that it keeps me from potentially having some errors later on. So what I want to do is I want my client galleries. I plan on password protecting most of my client galleries. And so what I want is anytime I upload new content into this group, I want it to take on some specific settings to keep those photos safe until I apply that password. So what we're going to do is click on this group before we upload anything else into it, before we create any sub-galleries, anything like that. We're going to click on this group, come over here to access, and we're going to change a couple of things. Now, I'm still going to leave this particular group set to be public, but we're going to go to the downloading tab, and we want to make sure that downloading is disabled. Now, this downloading setting here is free downloading of the original files that you upload. If you want to sell your digital files, definitely you want to keep this turned off because this will let them download for free. The next thing we're going to do is come down here to display size. And if you want your images to show larger in their galleries, go ahead and set up your display size to be the extra large. And then next we're going to come down here to a couple of other settings. There's a commenting section here. If you want to let your clients do photo comments and guest book, you can do that. Personally, for me, this is not a feature that I use, so I turn these options off because I want my galleries nice and clean. I don't want a bunch of different options in there that might potentially confuse my clients. So I'm going to turn off comments, and I'm also going to turn off guest book. Then we're going to go to the search tab, and we're going to set this gallery up so that it can not be used in any search results. So I'm going to click on this. And clicking on this setting, what this is going to do is anything that goes into this particular group for client galleries are not going to be included in any kind of search results at all. So that includes your Zenfolio search. So if you're utilizing that, you might not want to check this option. But I don't want my client galleries showing up in any of my search results or being indexed by search engines. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this option completely off. Now, next we're going to go down here to display options, and there's a couple of options in here that I want to turn off as well. One, I don't really want my metadata displaying to my clients. I don't want them seeing, my exposure mode, my camera settings and things like that. There's no reason for them to really see that, in my opinion anyway, so I'm going to turn it off. Now, you can definitely leave it turned on. It doesn't hurt anything. If you want your clients seeing that information, you can leave that option checked. Next, displaying the number of visitors. Again, this is something that I'm going to turn off. Totally up to you, but it's something that I prefer to be turned off. And then included in the recently added section of my homepage. I don't use that. I don't want my client gallery showing up there, so I'm going to turn that off. And then allow adding to collections. I personally do not use collections, and I would highly advise that you forget that collections exist. But if you use collections, you're going to want to leave that checked. I'm going to turn this option off. And then we're going to hit save. So now we've set up a clients group, and moving forward, any new client galleries that I upload are going to go into that group, and they will automatically take on those settings. So I don't have to worry about them being indexed by search engines. I don't have to worry about them displaying metadata, all of that stuff. The second that they're uploaded into that group, they're going to take on those settings. Now, before I start uploading client galleries into that group, what I'm going to do next, and what I definitely recommend doing, is creating some subgroups in here to help further organize this, to keep you from having to sift through a bunch of galleries. So one of the things that I like to do is create subgroups for the year. So I'm going to hover over this clients group right here. And there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. You can create subgroups for the year first. And then inside of those subgroups, you can have groups for your client genres, or you can create subgroups for your client genres first, and then have subgroups for the year. It just depends on which way you want to do it and how you're used to viewing things on your computer, or however you have things organized. For me personally, I'm going to create a subgroup for the year. So I would have, and let me get myself out of the way here. I would have a subgroup for the year right here. I would just go new group. I would say 2018. And then any gallery for my clients for 2018 would be going into this subgroup. Now, inside of that subgroup, if you photograph a lot of different client genres, it might be beneficial to have a subgroup inside of there for your different client genres. So if you're looking for a wedding gallery, you can go right to that subgroup. Or if you're looking for a family photos gallery, you can go to that subgroup. So I'm just going to show you how to set that up really quick. So now in our 2018, we would go here and say new group, and we could say weddings. And then we can also create a subgroup for families. So let's go here. And the important thing is that you are creating these subgroups from the group that you want them to be in. So I'm going back to 2018, clicking this little caret menu and hitting new group. And now let's do family portraits. All right. And so now I've got those subgroups in here. So at the end of 2018, I can close that off and I can kind of start over again and do a new group, 2019. And then in that one have several subgroups for my different client genres, weddings, and then maybe family portraits. All right, so this way, if I am looking for a specific gallery and I happen to know what year it is and what subgroup it belongs in, what client genre it is, it's really easy to find by going through these subgroups rather than sifting through thousands of galleries to try to find their name. So for instance, if I have a wedding client contact me from 2018 and I need to find their gallery for whatever reason, I just go to 2018, go to weddings, and then their gallery would be in that specific group. And it's going to be a lot easier to find a specific gallery that way rather than just browsing through a bunch of unorganized and randomly created galleries in my organizer tree. So that is how I recommend setting up this so you avoid having this big unorganized mess that you have to sift through, especially as a couple of years go by. It might not be too bad the first 2 years, but after a couple of years and you have hundreds of galleries in there, it's going to really become a headache. So I can't stress enough how important it is to start off creating some kind of organization like this so that you don't run into that giant headache of, oh my gosh, now I have 500 galleries in here and it's starting to become a pain. Let me sit down and reorganize these. Just start off from the get-go doing this and you will be thankful that you did later on down the road. All right, so now that we have our client galleries kind of organized and set up, what we would do is just start uploading our client galleries in here. So let's say, for instance, we have a wedding client from this year that we just finished shooting. We would click on this group. And then if you're using the Google Chrome browser, you can just grab that wedding folder right here and upload it into that group. So you click on that group, hit the upload button, and then you can just drag that in there. That folder in there. Let me find my Finder window. It just like disappeared on me. There it is. So then you can just grab that wedding group folder right here and just drag it in here and upload it, which I'm not going to do because I've already uploaded it into my Zenfolio account. I wanted to save some time, so I went ahead and uploaded the wedding group in my account already. We're just going to go find it and move it into the appropriate group. So let me go back to weddings. We're going to leave this page. And we're just going to go find this gallery that I've already uploaded. It's in here. It says Fraser Wedding. And the one thing I want to show you is that this is going to behave just like a newly uploaded gallery, because when I click on this and I go to access, you're going to notice, if I get myself out of the way, you're going to notice down here at the bottom, this says sync with group settings. So when I move this gallery right here, just by clicking this and hitting move, and we go into clients, 2018 and weddings, when I move it in there, it's going to automatically take on the settings that are applied to that group. So that means that it's not going to be allowed to be searchable. It's not going to show my metadata. It's not going to allow downloading and all of those different options there. All right, so let me go ahead and just refresh and we'll take a look. All right, so now you can see right over here, let me get myself out of the way again. Down in weddings, if I expand that, there is that Fraser Wedding Gallery. And if I go to access, again, it's synced with these settings for this particular group. And so I don't have to worry about it, like I said, being indexed and things like that. So that is how I would recommend having this stuff set up. That way it keeps it nice and organized, and when you upload the galleries, they're going to take on the settings that you want. Now, I've got another gallery in here, Family Portraits. We can go ahead and move that one over right here, the Wallace Family Portraits. Let's click on that, and let's go ahead and move that one. And let me get myself out of the way here. Let's go ahead and move this one over to the appropriate group. So 2018 family portraits, we'll move it in there. And then we can hit the refresh button and get that refreshed so that that gallery is now moved down in there. So family portraits, and here are those images there. So we've got our client gallery set up. We've got that good organization started. And doing something like this is going to keep the account organized, much easier to use, much easier to locate things. And so now that we've got the client gallery set up and we've got them in there, what I want to be talking about next week is we're going to be going into setting up a price list for these galleries. So we're going to go in and set up a price list for these galleries. We're going to apply the price list. And then the following week, what we're going to do is we're going to customize the client galleries to take on the visual appearance that we want, so that when clients go and visit them, they're going to look exactly the way that we want. And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to cover client gallery delivery methods. So Zenfolio has several different ways to get your clients to their galleries. There's client access, there is a client group setting, there is directly emailing your clients the link to their group or their gallery. And in a couple of weeks, I'm going to cover all three of those methods and show you guys how to get your clients to their galleries. But for this portion, again, this is kind of the organization that I recommend setting up, applying those settings to that main group, and then creating those subgroups so that all of those settings are passed down, and then you can go down and upload your client galleries into the appropriate group, and they'll take on those settings. So now if you were going to password protect your client galleries, now that we've got them in here, you can come on here and click on one, and you can say, okay, now that it's in here, I need to go ahead and password protect it because when I send it to a client, I want them to enter their password. So we're going to click on the gallery. We'll go up here to access, and then we'll set it to be locked with a password, and we'll just put in the password here and put it in down here. And then we'll just save it. And now that client gallery is locked with a password, and we're kind of ready to send it to the clients once we put that price list on it and get it ready for selling and things like that. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this portion of setting up your client galleries. If you have any questions about the organization or why I set it up the way that I did, or if there's anything else that you have questions about, let me know in the chat or hit up that link that Shanna just threw in the chat so I can take your guys' questions and get them answered for you today. Also, don't forget, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you click that subscribe button so that we go when we go live or when we publish new tutorials, you guys get notified of that. And if you are podcast listeners, make sure to subscribe to us in iTunes because we're now available in the iTunes podcast directory as well. Let me grab a cup of coffee, and I'm going to take some email questions. And if you guys haven't noticed, I'm kind of doing a Star Wars thing today. Just felt like doing a Star Wars thing, so I grabbed my Darth Vader coffee mug and felt like I would rock the vintage Star Wars t-shirt for you guys today. All right, let me grab some email questions really quick. All right, so the first question I have here is, actually, this is a question from last week as well. It said, I was watching the recording this afternoon. I was wondering if it's possible to place markers on the timeline where questions are asked for notes below, for bullet points and different things like that. So I think what you're asking about is, on the recorded version, in the description below, can I have time markers where we talk about different stuff? That's actually something that I've been trying to work out because it takes a lot of time to go back and watch the video, because I have to go back and watch it and place those time markers. So I'm testing out a shortcut option where I click a button and it automatically makes a time marker. The problem is I have to remember to click that button while we're streaming, and I've been forgetting lately, but I'm going to try to get better on that. So hopefully when this live stream comes out as a recording, you can look in the description below and there'll be the timestamp markers like you're looking for. All right, looks like I had a question from the document here. It says, where do you go to select different vendors? I would like to, let me stretch this out. I can't read everything here. I would like a price list for different vendors. Thanks, Mike. Hey, Mike, that's a great question. Let me let me show you. Let me show you how to do that. I'm going to go through it really quick. I'm not going to go through a lot of detail of creating price lists because we're going to talk about that next week. But let me show you how to build a price list with different vendors, with a certain vendor in mind. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump to selling right here. Go ahead and click on price list. And then we're just going to add a blank price list really quick right here. And let's say that this price list is going to be for wedding clients or for whatever reason we want to use a very specific vendor. So I'm just going to call this Mike Demo 1. We'll hit add products right here. And then over on the top right corner here, usually the first time you click that, you're going to see all vendors in the top right corner. And the one thing that you don't want, actually there's two things that you don't want to do. You don't want to build packages from the all vendors screen like this. And you also don't want to build a price list from the all vendor screen. So yes, I clicked the button. So what you want to do is click here. And you want to choose the specific vendor that you want to use for this price list. Or if you're building a package, you want to choose the specific vendor that you want to use for that package. So in this case, let's say that we want to use photo float only for this price list. So we're going to click on photo float, add a couple of products here like this. And then I'm just going to click add selected. I'm not going to do anything else, though. Please add a markup and make some money off of these products. Don't just use the default 100%. Please add a markup. If you've never built a price list before, search our YouTube channel. There are several great tutorials that go over price list in depth, and we'll show you how to do this, but I'm just doing this really quick. So now we've built this price list using just that one vendor. You can go down here, and you might want to put up here in the name something of the vendor, like a photo float. So we know that's the vendor. And then we're going to go down here to the bottom and hit save. And then if you wanted to make a different price list from a different vendor, let's say maybe you've got a different client that you want to offer some different products to, you're just going to kind of repeat that same process, but choose a different vendor. So you're going to go add blank price list. And this time, let's go with MPix. We'll say Mike Demo 2 MPix. All right. And we'll click add products. This time we're going to go right up here and we'll say MPix. And now we're going to be picking products that only come from MPix. So we're going to click some products here, choose them. And again, like I said, I'm just showing this option really quick. You want to make sure that you're marking these products up and making some money from these. So now we're going to go to the bottom and hit save. So now we have two different price lists from two different vendors. And if you want to apply them to separate galleries, you can. So you can go down to photos. And let's say you want your family portraits to always be on the MPix price list. You can click on the group. And you can click on the price list section right here. And you can say allow ordering from my price list. And that would be the MPix one. And so now any of your family galleries that are in this family group right here and any new ones that you add inside of that group are going to use that MPix price list. Let's say for your wedding clients, you want to use only that photo float price list. You could apply it to the group in the same manner. Just click on the group, come up here to price list, say allow ordering from my price list. And now we can do that one, which is photo float, and hit save. And so now any gallery that's inside of the wedding group and any new gallery that you add in there will take on that price list. What if you want to have a different price list for different images? You can do that as well. You can click on the photo. All right. You can change the price list assigned to that photo. So right now, this one is, and you can see up at the top, it says photo only pricing. So that's the key that you want to look at. All right. You want to make sure that you see that photo only price list so that you know that you're doing the photo just for the price list just for that photo. So maybe all of these photos, you want them to have one price list on them except for one. Maybe you've done some special editing. Maybe you want this one particular photo to only be ordered in a certain product. So you build a price list that just has that product on it. Click on that photo, go to price list, make sure it says photo only pricing, and then we can say only order from this price list and hit save. So now if you'll watch up here, these photos are going to have different price lists on them when you view them in the gallery. So if we go and we take a look at this gallery really quick, and I have no clue what's on those price lists, so this is going to be interesting, but this should be that first one, the photo float. And then as we switch to that image that we applied a different price list to, you notice now the options over here changed. So if I go ahead, it's going to go back to that other price list. So it's possible to have photos that have a unique price list on them, and then galleries can have their own unique price list, or you can assign it all to a group. And you control the vendor by the way that you create that price list by choosing a specific vendor. So hopefully, Mike, somewhere in that long rant, I answered your question about creating price lists from different vendors, and it kind of showed you the process, gave you some things to think about. If I need to go back through that more, if there's anything that I missed or I wasn't clear on, please definitely let me know, or just shoot another question in that document and I will make sure to answer that. Let me go back to my photos page, and now we'll grab another email question, and I'm going to push the question button again. And let's grab an email question here. Last week, you showed us some things in Theme Designer, but I was wondering if you could help me. There is a little semi-transparent bar on the bottom of my homepage that I cannot get to go away. I've set the footer to hide, but this bar is still there. Is there any chance that you know how to get rid of this or get this to hide? So it sounds like you might be talking about an overlay. So let's just take a look at the website really quick. We're going to go to customize website. I'm not sure if this website has, or this particular preset has it or not, but we'll definitely take a look. So I'm thinking you're probably talking about this little bar right down here in the bottom of my screen right here. So if I go up to options and we go to page elements, you can see that that page footer is set to hide, but we've still got this little white transparent bar right here that maybe we want to get rid of for whatever reason. Well, you can do that. It's a setting in Theme Designer. So we're going to go over here to themes. I'm going to go ahead and open that in a new tab. And then what we're going to do is load Theme Designer, and I'll show you how to get rid of that little white bar at the bottom. So I'm going to hit continue. We're going to go back to themes, click on edit theme, and this is going to load Theme Designer. And then we just need to find that specific element and get rid of it. So once Theme Designer loads, I'm going to show you guys how to find that element and get rid of it. And while you do that, let me check on you guys on chat here really quick. So we got Mike Singer from Cincinnati. Hey, Mike. I think is it Singer? Hopefully I said it right. Hey, Mike, thanks for joining us. We've got Home Phone hanging out with us. It's always good to have Home Phone. He says, hi from the couch. Not in Hawaii today, just from the couch. Cool. Shanna's hanging out with us, moderating. Definitely appreciate Shanna jumping on here and helping me out. We've got Jeffrey Bishop from Barbados locked on. Hey, Jeffrey, thanks for joining us. Roxanne, aloha from Ontario, Canada. Always glad to have Roxanne hanging out with us. Super glad to have you here. And then let's see, we've got, let me make sure I didn't miss any questions here really quick. All right, I think I'm all caught up. And Mike says, well understood. Thanks so much. Absolutely, Mike. Glad that answered your question. All right, back to the email question. So this little element in the bottom of the homepage right here, this little white transparent bar that doesn't seem to go away right here. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. So once you get Theme Designer loaded, go into Theme Designer, go to the Homepage tab, scroll down, and at the very bottom down here, you're going to look for these overlays right here. And there's one that says Bottom Overlay, and that's the one that you're looking for. Now, there's not a way to actually turn it off, but you can make that white color completely transparent so it kind of goes away. So let me just show you really quick. We're going to click on Bottom Overlay. Then go up here to the color on the left-hand side, make it completely transparent, hit done, hit save, jump back to your website, do a Command R, and now we should see that little white bar that was at the bottom go away. So let me get myself out of the way here, guys. Scroll down, and now if you'll notice where that little white bar was right here, it's now gone. So you just need to make that transparent, and that should go away. All right, let me jump back to, and then don't forget, as always, whenever you're doing any changes here on the back end, don't forget that you need to make sure you click publish to make those changes live so that they actually go out to your live website. Great question, though. That question comes up a lot, especially when designing the website and changing the theme and all that stuff. Some people end up with that little bar showing on there, and they can't figure out how to get rid of it. It's definitely not super obvious, so I'm glad you asked that, and I was able to show you how to do that. All right, guys, if you're watching the live stream, make sure if you have any questions, get those in the chat or submit those to that link that Shanna threw out so I can get those answered for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and jump over and take some more email questions really quick. Let's see. So my next question here is, let me push the question button so I get a marker on that. I love the simplicity of quickshop, but it's not so great for packages. Is there a way to put the description in there so my clients know what is in a package, what's in package A or B, etc.? So if you're not familiar with quickshop, quickshop is one of the buying experiences that Zenfolio offers to your clients. So there's two types of buying experiences. There's what we call the shop home, which is a really fancy categorized shopping experience. Really great for portrait clients or wedding clients or any client that you're going to give a lot of personal attention to. But when it comes to volume jobs or event jobs where you're going to have a lot of different clients and you don't have a lot of time for questions and things like that, you're going to probably want to go with the quickshop because it's much more streamlined and easy to use. Now, the quickshop, let me just show you what that is really quick. So we're going to go to selling, we'll go to price list, and I'm going to jump into one of these price lists that I created for Mike really quick. The quickshop is at the very bottom of where you create your price list. So it's at the very bottom down here. And by default, it automatically adds 10 products over. So if you have some packages, you'll have to add them in here as well. So let's go create a package really quick, and I'll show you how to optimize the package title for quickshop so that it's easier for your clients to figure out. So we're going to go to selling right here. We'll jump down to packages, and we'll just add a new package really quick. And as photographers, absolutely, we do this. We say package A, and we leave it at that. And then that is what's shown to your clients in quickshop. So what you want to do is keep that in mind and work on the way that you're naming your package. So rather than just naming it package A and leaving it like that, do something like this, package A. And then in package A, we're going to put 1 8x10 and 2 5x7s. So now if you title your packages like this and your client sees that title in quickshop, they're going to know exactly what they're getting with this package versus a package A where they're trying to guess what might be in package A. So you just add the products in here really quick. Let's go here and do 5x7, 8x10. We'll add those in here and then set the package price to, $40. Hit next and next again and done. And then you just go add that to your quickshop list. So I'm going to go to selling and price list, and then what we're going to do is go to the I think it was this one, the Mike's demo price list right here. We'll go there, we'll add that package in, and then you need to make sure that it's in the quickshop. So add products, and then click right here, choose your studio name. There your packages will be. And let me just add the bronze package in here so you can see the contrast of how these two are displayed. So we're going to add those in there really quick. We'll save it. And then what we'll do is we'll go in and we'll take a look at this in the client gallery really quick. So we'll put this on the family portraits gallery, which is already there. Go to photos, and then let me show you how it looks. So we're going to go here and click on the preview button right there. And so now when we click on this, here's quickshop, and you can see package A, and it tells you exactly what's in that package. 1 8x10, 2 5x7s. Bronze package, I have no idea what's in that one. And honestly, I don't, because that's a default built-in one. So just think about that when you're titling things like your packages and your digital products. If you're going to use quickshop only, which I definitely love quickshop, I think it's a great shopping feature because it forces you to think about your titles, and it also forces you to think about how many products you want to offer to your client. Because I believe that a very streamlined price list is the way to go, because it allows opportunity later on to add new products into it. So hopefully that answers your question of how to title that package to optimize it for quickshop, so it's easier for your clients to understand what's going to be in that package. All right, it looks like I missed a question from Roxanne. I feel really bad now, so let me jump back to my photos and let me see what question it was that I missed here really quick. So Roxanne, sorry about that. I must have scrolled too fast. Sometimes the letters are just too small and I scroll too fast. So let me push the question button. And Roxanne says, on the opening page of my site, I had placed a link to a gallery of an event. I would like to move it to another location, and I would like to create an event folder to move it to. So I think what you're saying is that you plan on photographing multiple events. And what you would like to do is, rather than having to update your site menu every single time you photograph a new event, I think what you want to do is link to an event group where all of your events are, so that people visiting your website can click on events and then go and find their specific event on that event group page. That's what it sounds like. I'm going to answer that question. If I got that wrong, let me know and clarify in the chat, and I will try to answer it a little bit better, but I think that's what you're asking. So you can definitely do that. What you want to do is just do it with groups. All right. So if we go right in here and we say, let's create a new group right here called events. And let's go inside of this, and let's say you have event A. And I'm just creating this with a gallery. I'm just creating it with a gallery. If it's an actual Zenfolio event, that will work too, as long as it's inside of this group. And so, and let's do event B really quick. So let's say new gallery, event B. So I think what you did was you have on your website, on your main website, so let's go to customize website. On the main page, on your navigation up here, I think you mean that you went and you have a new site menu item, and it's called event A, all right? And you linked it to event A so that when people come to your website, they see that and they click on it and it takes them right to that event. However, what you want to do is, rather than having to go in and change that link or add a drop-down menu and add new links every single time, what you want to do is be able to set it up so that they click on one link, it takes them, they can see all the different events, and then choose the event that they want to see. So the way you would do it is set it up just like I did. So rather than linking to the event, you're going to change this to link to that event group. So you could just say events like this, go to link target, hit select, link it to the event group that has all of your events inside of it, and hit update. And so now this way, people just come to your website, they click on the events link, it takes them to the group, and then there would be a cover photo for each different event, and they would click on the event that they want to see. So that way you're not having to update that link every single time. Whenever you add a new link in there, it will automatically appear. So let me just show you. So let's publish this. And then what I'm going to do is let's go back to all photos really quick. And we're going to preview our website in a new tab right here. So here's what our website currently looks like. We click on events, and currently there's event A and event B in here. But this weekend we photographed another event, and so you just upload it inside of this new event group right here. So new gallery, event C, and that's all you have to do is make sure that you get it in the right group, because without doing anything else from that, now people can go to your website and click that events group, and now they'll actually be able to choose which event they want. So hopefully that answers your question. I think that's what you were asking. If I need to clarify it or if I missed that a little bit, definitely let me know in the chat, and I would be more than happy to go back and try to make sure that I'm answering it the way that answering the question that you have, and I'm not just going off on some wild and random rant. All right. Okay, so let me jump back over here to my Zenfolio account really quick. And let me just minimize that. And let's see. Let me see here in chat. Let me check on you guys in chat here really quick. So on my main page, she said yes, multiple events. That's it. All right. It sounds like that's what you were looking for, Roxanne. Hopefully it was, and that was the answer to your question. If not, we can definitely go over it and clarify some more. All right, let me jump and grab another email question really quick. Let me check this chat document. And all right, we're going to grab an email question. Let's see. If I offer packages, let me hit the question button so I don't forget. There we go. If I offer packages using Miller's and I allow clients to choose more than one image, will I still get Miller's package pricing, or will I pay a different base lab cost? So this is actually a question I was actually talking with somebody about a couple of weeks ago. I'm glad it came back up. So if you're used to going through Miller's outside of Zenfolio, then you're used to that volume pricing, as to where, you know, a package is one single image and you get a volume pricing for having it be a package. With Zenfolio, the base price is the base price. So when you're creating packages and you're using Miller's, which unfortunately I haven't integrated Miller's into this account yet, but I will. But if you're using Miller's and you're creating packages, it does not matter if you have a single image package or a multi-image package. The base cost is always going to be the base cost. Let me get logged into my admin account really quick, or my Black Onyx account, and I'll show you guys kind of what we're talking about here. So let me get there really quick. I should have had this already logged in and on standby, but I totally forgot to do that. So give me 1 second. Black Onyx. And let me get logged in. All right. So let me go to my editor. All right, here we are. And this is my Black Onyx account. You guys that have been hanging out with me for a while probably recognize this. So let me just show you kind of what we're talking about. With Zenfolio, if you have an advanced account, you can actually integrate Miller's and make price lists from Miller's. So if you're advanced and you don't have Miller's integrated, let us know. Reach out to the support team. You can reach out to us by going to zenfolio.com/contact and just let us know, hey, I have an advanced account and I want to build a price list from Miller's. Can I integrate Miller's into my account? Now, before you shoot us an email, get in contact with Miller's, set up a free Miller's account, and they're going to give you an account number, and make sure that you include that Miller's account number in your email to the support team so that we can integrate that for you. But it doesn't cost anything, and this will let you offer products from Miller's. All right, so in this account, what I'm going to do is go up to selling, and we're going to go to packages right here. And I'm just going to add a new package, and I will call this Miller's Demo. All right. Oh, wow, I did a great job on that. Miller's Demo. There we go. Okay, so let me click, and first let me show you here what we're talking about. So this is one photo for all products, which means that whatever photo the client has selected when they choose this package gets applied to all of the products in it. The next option down is a multi-image package, which means that they can choose different photos. And like I said, those of you guys who are used to working with Millers directly, you know that you get a volume discount, or if you're doing packages, you get a different price if that package is a single image package versus a multi-image package. With Zenfolio, the base price is the base price, and it does not change. So whether this is a single image package or a multi-image package, if I go down here to add products and we choose Miller Schools and Sports, and we add a couple of prints here, and we add them in here, it's going to show you the base cost over here. And this is a multi-image package. If I switch this to single image package, the base cost of that image does not, or those products do not change. So it's the same for either option. Hopefully that answered your question. If you need further clarification on that, definitely reach out to the support team. And guys, if you have not reached out to the support team, we have an amazing, amazing support team. They are all photographers as well. And they are not just great support team members, but they're also just great people in general. Really good people to talk with and help you out with your Zenfolio account. And if you have that live chat button right here, you can click on that and chat with our support team. They are super awesome. I can't say enough good things about them. But hopefully that answers your question about the Miller pricing. It does not change in Zenfolio if you're using a single image package or a multi-image package. All right, let me get back to my account here, and let me check on you guys in chat. So Roxanne says, yes, that helps. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad that answered your question, Roxanne. Guys, if you have any more questions, we've got about 15 more minutes left. Make sure that you get those questions in the chat or in the questions doc. Those of you guys who are viewing the recorded version of this, I would love to have you come hang out with me live, but I know that not everybody can drop what they're doing on Thursday during our busy days and hang out with us. So I appreciate you guys watching the recorded version of this. Those of you guys watching the live stream, do me a big favor, give this video a thumbs up. I appreciate that. It definitely helps us out as well and helps us keep these going so we can help you guys make the most out of your Zenfolio account and be as successful as possible here on Zenfolio. All right, let me grab another email question really quick, and I'm going to push the question button. And we're going to go down here and read this question here. It says, as a fine art photographer, I am looking for a way to sell framed prints that are already set up, meaning I do not want my clients to choose the frame. I want to decide that option ahead of time. Is this possible in Zenfolio? Well, you can do this as long as you're using a vendor that offers framing options. You can set up a pre-configured framing option for certain prints and different things like that. So let me run you through how to set this up. It's going to be through the package feature. So what we're going to do is go to selling, and we're going to go to packages, and let's add a new package, and let's say that we want to call this maybe signature series 11. We'll do 16 by 24 framed print. All right. So a signature series 16 by 24 framed print, meaning that you've probably already done a signature brush on the image before you uploaded it. Or if not, you would need to set up a way to get this product to come to you first. And so in that case, let's just call this we'll call this an art series. All right, art series 16 by 24 framed print. So what we're going to do is go down here. We're going to leave this to be one photo for all products in here because it's going to be a single image. We're going to click add products, and then we're going to change the vendor name, and we're going to pick a certain vendor. I'm going to go ahead and go with MPix Pro. We'll go with prints. We're going to go down here to the bottom and grab a 16 by 24. Now, why a 16 by 24 rather than a 16 by 20? That's because the 16 by 20 is not 3:2 aspect ratio and 16 by 24 is. And so that's going to fit my image perfectly. If you're image coming out of your camera is a 3:2 aspect ratio. So something to keep in mind. All right, so we've got the 16:24. We're going to add that in here. And then what we're going to do is go ahead and pre-configure this package to have certain framing and mounting options that the clients can't change. So first, what you can do is you can pre-configure the paper type. So let's say that we want it to be Kodak metallic. And then color conversion, we're going to turn this off. We don't want our clients doing any black and white or sepia tone conversions. Cropping, we're going to set this to fit because that image that I uploaded is in 3:2 aspect ratio, and this print product is 16:24, which is also the 3:2 aspect ratio, and so it will fit perfectly, and we don't want the client trying to alternate that. Not the right word, alter that the way it fits. So we're going to hit apply here. Now next what we're going to do is we are going to go right here and click the framing and mounting option. And this is going to be what lets us predetermine these framing and mounting settings. So we're going to click frame and mount, and we can pick out the different settings that are offered through this vendor. So I'm going to go right here, and let's say we want to go ahead and have it be luster coated. So we're going to turn luster coating on. If you want a texture, you can do a texture. And then we can go down here and we can say, okay, we want this to have a black metal frame, or you can do a black curve frame. And you can actually kind of preview what the frame looks like right here. If you want this to have a matte, you can go ahead and apply a matte to it. Right, here's the matte. You can apply a white matte, a black matte, whichever you prefer that you feel will best suit your image. And then you also have some glass options down here. You can do non-glare glass or just normal clear glass. So let's set that to be non-glare. Let's change this back to a white matte. And we'll go ahead and hit apply. And then you just come down here and you set up the pricing for this particular product. So let's set this one to be at let's set this one to be at 500. All right, so we're going to set it to be 500. And we'll hit next. And we're going to save that package. And we'll hit next again to save it. And then all you have to do after that is you just need to go and add it to a price list. So let's go to selling and price list. And what we'll do is we'll just add a new blank price list really quick. And I'll call this framed. All right. We'll add that product in here. So we're going to go to packages and add that art series 16:20 framed print. We'll add it here. And we'll hit save. And then as I was showing you guys earlier, you can now take that price list and apply it to a specific photo if you want, rather than an entire gallery. So let's say you have a client's gallery, a wedding gallery, and you want a certain photo to only be available in that option. Maybe you've done some unique editing to it and you don't want them to be able to purchase it in cheaper prints. You want them to only purchase it in that pre-configured option that we just set up. You can take that price list and apply it directly to that photo. So let's do this photo right here. And we're going to go change the price list for it. We'll say allow ordering and choose the framed price list. Hit save. And so now that photo can only be ordered in that specific package setting. So if we go to preview, and we click on that photo, which I don't remember which one it was, so we'll get to it in a second. We're going to look right here, and I believe it's this next one right here. There it is. So we're going to see this photo. Here's the option, and when we click that, that's going to add that right into the cart in that option with the framing already set up. They can't change it. There's no configurations. They just go to the cart, and they can take a look at it here. So it's already set up with all of that framing. If they want to take a look at it, they can. So right here, it shows what it looks like, and then they can hit save. Now, I'm able to change this. Actually, I'm not able to change it. I was going to say I'm able to change it because I'm logged in, but it looks like I can't even change it. So once that option's set in the package, there is no way for that product to be altered, even by you when you're logged in. So it's a great way, like I said, if you want to set up a photo to be purchased in a specific framing configuration, set it up as a package, put it in your price list, and then those options are pre-configured and your client doesn't have to make the choices and set it all up. All right, let me jump back to my photos page here. Hopefully that answered your question and showed you how to do that. Let me just close this clients group. Guys, we've got about 6 more minutes left. So if you have any last minute questions, make sure to get them in the chat or send them over in the questions document and I will get those answered for you guys today. Let me double check, make sure I'm not missing anything. And all right, let me grab another email question here really quick. See if I can't get another email question. And I'm going to push the question button. All right, this question says, I use the client access feature to get clients to their galleries, and this is working fine on the new photos page, except that now I cannot figure out how to create the group ID for a group. So those of you guys that are familiar with our client access, you know that you have to create a group or gallery ID, and that's what gets people to their galleries using this feature. Those of you guys that are not familiar with this feature, I'm going to go through it really quickly because we're going to talk a lot more in depth about this in an upcoming live stream, but I want to make sure that you at least have a little bit of understanding of how this works. So client access is a built-in page on your Zenfolio account. And in order for it to work, 1, you've got to have it showing on your website somewhere. And 2, you have to give your client an ID to enter to go to their gallery. So for instance, if I wanted to use client access for the Fraser Wedding Gallery, I can click on that gallery, go to Actions, go to Share, and here's the gallery ID right here. And I can say gallery ID or client access code. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in whatever I want the client gallery ID to be. So in this case, maybe I want it to be Fraser. I'm going to put that in there. Also take note that that does change the URL of the gallery as well. And we're going to click Save. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to jump up here to Website. I'm going to open up built-in pages in a new tab because I'm going to show you the client access page. So here's client access. Let me open this up in a new incognito window so you can see it like a client would. And we're going to go right here. There's a little tab. They put in their gallery ID. We did Fraser. They hit go, and that takes them right to their gallery. They don't have to browse through client galleries, anything like that. That gallery ID takes them right to their gallery. Now, with the new photos page, doing that for a group is a little different than it used to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a group, and let's say that we want to get people to the events group using the gallery ID or the client access page. So what we're going to do is go here and go to access, and then there's a sharing button right here, and we're going to go on the group and click a friendly URL. And this is where we can create that group ID. So in this case, I'm going to put events in here. I'm going to copy that. We'll save it. So now that group has the client access code of events. So when I go to my client access page, now I just enter events and hit go. And that will take me to that event page where I can then pick and choose my event. So the option has changed places just a little bit, but it still is there and it still works. So again, let me just show you where that option is. You go to the group, and then you go to access, hit the sharing button, and do the friendly URL, and that's where you put in your group ID. So hopefully that answers your question and lets you know how to do that. It's a great feature if you're using the client access. We're going to talk about all of that stuff more in depth in a couple of live streams coming up. We're going to go over the different ways to get clients to their galleries. I will show you all the different ways that there are, and then I'll take you through my preferred method that I like to use, which is the gallery invite using an email feature, But we're going to cover all that in an upcoming live stream. So make sure that if you're not subscribed to the channel, you click that subscribe button so you get notified when we go live and you don't miss that, because that's going to be really beneficial, especially if you're new to Zenfolio and you're trying to figure out the best way to get your clients to their galleries. And there's different methods that work for different people. And like I said, I'm going to show you all the different ways you can do it on Zenfolio. All right, guys, we've got about 2 more minutes left. So I'm going to see if there's an email question that I can answer really quick. And if not, then I'm going to have to sign off and let you guys go. But let me see if there's an email question that I can answer really quick here. Yeah, I'm going to have to get to this question next week because it's talking about self-fulfilling, and I don't think that I can do self-fulfilling in 1.5 minutes. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to get to that question next week. So whoever submitted that question, I think it's Dave, make sure that you tune in next week and I will answer your question on self-fulfilling next week. Sorry, I wasn't able to get to it today. We just ran out of time. So let me see if I got any questions here in the chat. And if not, then I'm just going to jump off here early and let you guys get back to what you have going on there with you guys. All right, so yeah, unfortunately we are out of time. So I do want to say thank you to everybody who came and joined me today on the live stream. You guys are awesome. I want to say thanks to everybody again. All of the guys who are brand new viewers, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. You guys that have been with us for a while, thanks again for joining us. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our live notifications. There's probably a subscribe button popping up somewhere on the screen. And then if you want to learn more about Zenfolio, check out the videos over that direction. That should be popping up sometime later on. Until next week, I hope you all have a safe and wonderful weekend. And I will see you guys next week, same time, same place.